Cominciata la partita? Adesso? Sì. Perfetto.
The North Crew. The North Crew.
Ciao Canada!
Spreading holiday cheer turned the Lazio-Udinese match into a giving affair. No Di Natale up front for the Zebrete in the starting 11 must have felt like an early Christmas gift. But not to worry for Guidolin and company, because Zio Eddie Rea decided to spring an untested 3-5-2 formation into the mix to even out the good charity will this holiday season. The result is a what could have been type. Had Miroslav Klose slotted in his second goal of the night, Lazio would sit joint in second place with 31 points. Had Rea perhaps stuck to what has gotten us into the top four all season, maybe the outcome could have been different. Frustrating, to say the least, amongst our Laziali here at commnonnt Bar. Haven't said that one in a while in Toronto, Ontario. Ready to spread that holiday cheer and some discomfort probably as well with the way Lazio played this match and the way the outcome went. From left to right, we have Julian McNaughton, no stranger to the show, Adrian Domenico, Macher, we'll call him as his Brazilian name, also known as Roma Solo La Lazio. Paolo Barba is here, representing the whole Laziali in the Frosinone region. Luca Barber and Davide, the political analyst for the club as well. Clockwise from me. And Julian, your first thoughts on the game, obviously.
Well, it was our game to win, first of all. Numerous chances, we just couldn't finish it. And Rea once again acted in more of like, didn't have any balls, I would say. He played for the tie, which is something we shouldn't have done because we clearly had the game in our hand to win. But
are you alluding to the 3-5 bullshit 2 formation that we're talking about?
For starters, that's one of them. And secondly, leaving Schooley, no respect against Schooley, leaving him on to the 81st, and then bringing in Kozak. A little late to me. I don't know. Just my opinion on it.
Hey, do you want to get in on this? Since we're going to try to be as fair as possible about this. And
all right. Well, I'm sure all of us agreed Marchetti would have been a little more helpful than Bizzarri. He's more outgoing than Bizzarri is for sure. I feel that he would have been a very key player in this 2-2 tie that we ended up with.
Short answer: would you be breaking panettone bread with Eddie Rea this coming Natale?
No, not even close. No way.
Mascio, your thoughts on the game?
I thought we gave up a lot of chances. I didn't think that we did what we needed to do to win the game. We relied too much on moving the ball in the midfield. We didn't make use of Klose making incredible runs as he normally does. Schooley was as usual useless, asking for the ball when clearly not necessary.
He practically ran himself off the pitch, let's say. As you break the chair that we're recording on. Yeah, talking about fat. You and Schooley seem to have more in common than we think.
Brady's sitting in a plastic chair.
On the arm of a plastic chair.
But no, I didn't think that this was a good game at all. I think that we should have walked away with the 3 points. I don't think it was any discussion with anybody here that we clearly deserve those 3 points. Udinese didn't even start Di Natale on top of that. And despite him having not started the game, still was more threatening than we were in the 10 minutes that he was on in comparison than we were the whole, 85 minutes of the game.
Paolo Barba, good result for Udinese, bad result for Lazio in simplest forms, would you say?
Well, at the end of the day, a point's a point. And it's unfortunate. Well, we should have had 2 more points, but we definitely had the better chances, and we easily should have had the third, either in the close chance or any of the corners. Should have made better use of our set plays. Thought we had terrible corner takers, and even our crosses were lackluster at times.
Yeah, corners was a big thing. But within 10 minutes of the game, we already had 4 corners won. Yeah. And we really didn't contribute or do anything.
The first half, we definitely should have played better, but we made up for it by steamrolling them in the second. I mean, they were barely even breathing, and they're lucky to even get that goal in the second half. But it's unfortunate, and just gotta look forward to Wednesday. But
Without looking past Chievo, our next opponents, Lazio's at home again. This is obviously a makeup game from the first one that we didn't get a chance to play in. How does Lazio recoup, and did the Cisse start? What's your opinion on that? Should Cisse have seen the action today?
well, seeing that he didn't bring him in off the bench, he definitely would have to start in the next game. I mean, you can't leave him on the bench 2 games in a row. That's just outrageous.
Your thoughts on the 3-5-2 as well?
3-5-2 is not my favorite formation, whether it's FIFA or whether it's real life. 3-5-2.
It's not for you.
It's more of a Serie B formation or a Spanish formation. I don't think an Italian team like Lazio should be running a 3-5-2 ever, but that's beside the point. Especially when we have wing backs, you definitely should make use of 4 at the back, but that's beside the point. The other thing is though, why he was playing Gonzalez the way he was and Lulic the way he was. I mean, why didn't he make Ledesma fall back?
Well, the whole concept of 3-5-2 is you're supposed to have speedy wingers. This is something that we really didn't see a lot of speed from Lazio today. We'll open the segment now for Luca, someone who's never been on the show before. Luca, you got to introduce yourself, man.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. That was our game to win, and we didn't capitalize, unfortunately. So.
What did you say was the biggest? What was the biggest thing for us that we lacked? Was it, like I said, with speed was an issue, but finishing, clinical finishing, we seem to have that, except to the very end, Kozak scuffing at the end. Just for you, what do you say?
Too much confusion between the midfield and the forwards for sure. And I didn't. We missed Marchetti, and when Rocky came off, I don't know. I didn't agree with that either.
Yeah, I think we talked about during that game with Rocky and how much he gives to the team, and then kind of just used as just cover for now, and then we'll take him off. But then I think Rea realized his mistake after taking Rocky off. We kind of became so reliant on Hernandez and more so Klose that it just didn't work out. Mr. Davide, any political alignments that you can figure out from this game? Is that what hindered us, or was it just pure bad luck today?
I wouldn't call it bad luck. I mean, it's sort of been reiterated by everyone else, but it was absolutely ridiculous that in a game like this where we had the perfect opportunity to win, that we throw out a terrible formation, we put together ridiculous substitutions, and overall just sort of position the entire team in a way that we're working on damage control as opposed to actually winning the game. So I don't think it has anything to do politically necessarily, but hey, who knows? Like
politics of the dressing room. I mean, I don't.
I thought you were
because there's no way Giuseppe Scully should have seen even 80 minutes of football today. That's what I mean, political.
You know what? I couldn't even comprehend what's going on in the dressing room right now, but. When it comes down to it, the fact that Cisse wasn't put in at all, and that we had that phenomenal player who you've used some very descriptive terms to consider, playing for as long as he was when he had absolutely no place on the field and really capitalized on nothing, really shows that there's probably the usual sort of behind-the-scenes drama going on in our dressing room, and who knows? Maybe Lotito's involved. Maybe we can hate him again.
Mr. Zorro Lotito himself, lovely hat, sporting. He's definitely got a new fashionista. For me, it's what could have been. I don't know if that's a lot for everybody else. Without looking too far ahead past Chievo, how do we realign ourselves going forward? As this is a wasted opportunity that we could have had 6 points from. Chievo's on the horizon, but I'm looking more towards January. I know you have something to say. You look like you're itching to say something.
I just want to see who we get in the January transfer window. I mean, it's all talk right now, but it's definitely going to be interesting. I mean, we've seen where we get exposed. We've seen our weaknesses. And even Udinese today on the counterattack. This isn't the first time on the counterattack we've looked quite weak and we've looked disorganized at the back. So, I mean, it's interesting. And it just goes back to having 3 at the back. I don't know. It's just interesting, especially Diaz is just coming off an injury. I don't know.
Yeah, without going back too much on Ray, I don't know how you can throw a 3-5-2 formation 2 days before a game. It's very difficult to even comprehend throwing something in that you've never trained before. And I know Ray loves 3-5-2, but if you look at being unsuccessful, you just have to look no further than the way Genoa played against Inter during the week, and then their coach coming out and saying, you know what, I only prepared for this game today. I don't know why that's something he would even have admitted, but in terms of preparing, it seems like a last-minute preparation.
Another thing is very hard to find a player who can link the mid and the forward together. And we're fortunate to have Hernandez who can do that. And to start him, not to start him first of all, and to start Ledesma in his position, who Ledesma is completely unknown to his position, just it makes no sense again. It's just like I said, the formation just doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah, the 3-5-2 formation, like I said, it's built on speed. It's teams with speed. We don't have that. Gonzalez not very fast. Ledesma slower than slow. Let's be honest.
The person who had the speed was Lulic, who started behind the 3 attackers, which made no sense to me. And Ledesma is the person who holds the ball and distributes the ball, and he's playing as the attacking midfielder. No one out of the 5 midfielders was an attacking midfielder. That's the one thing we had to bring in the transfer window, was a backup for Hernandez. We just showed today we have no one to play Hernandez's spot.
Speaking of the transfer market, without spending too much time on that, there's a lot of names floating around. Some more so than others. Podolski. I want to bring to mind the fact that it looks like Nono Inzaghi could be joining the blue and white and following in the footsteps of his brother, and sucking up time from guys like Kozak. And that was a big thing for me that I'm against. No, I'm not against the respect or disrespect towards Filippo Inzaghi or anything along those lines. I know he's still very hungry and he wants to make up for his minus goal tally that he's trying to catch up with Raul. But, this is a move backwards if you ask me, especially when you have guys like Cisse sitting on the bench. Our options are not limited going forward. What we need is cover in the midfield, I think you had said as well, right?
Yeah, Inzaghi thinks he's going to come here and start every game. He says there's a lot of good forwards that he has to fight for. Kozak, Rocky, Cisse, Klose. Like, he can't just come and start. I don't know where he gets that impression that he can come and do that.
And on top of that, it's a slap in the face that I said to Luca as well before we had mentioned. It's a slap in the face to Tommaso Rocky, who pretty much contributes a whole lot, and as well, I think was underused today, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as he was gone, there was a difference, for sure. And it's a slap in the face, like you said, because he leaves it on the field every single game.
Yeah, and then there's other guys that they leave a lot left to be desired.
Where's his hardness leave?
Going through in the January transfer market, is there anything specific you'd like to see, Mr. Mascio?
Nothing in particular. I'd just like to see some reinforcement in the back. And like Julian said, to reiterate, an attacking midfielder, someone who can contribute to our forwards, because they're clearly not getting the service they deserve. Especially Miroslav Klose, who I think has been more reliant on Cisse than anybody else, considering the number of goals he's had him assist on, including last week against Lecce.
Davide, what does this game feel like a loss to me and to you?
Well, especially considering last week, which barely can be considered a victory, it really shows that in a circumstance where we have the full capacity to win, where we're positioned so that, especially with Di Natale not even starting, or it's pretty much handed out to us, everything's defensive and the entire team seemed castrated on the field running around. It was ridiculous. It makes it very difficult to cheer for the team when it looks like they actually don't care.
Is this a reflection on the coach, you're saying?
I would definitely say so.
Would that mean you wouldn't be breaking panettone bread this winter with Eddie Rea?
No, it'd be a good cover because you'd end up in my basement, but I definitely think there's something going on, because if players are out there and they're really dogging and dragging their feet, there's something more going on. And if you're looking at just the tactical necessity of a formation change 2 days before a game that you're supposed to win, that might make sense in some minor league where you want to try something out and then switch back when you realize it's not working. But I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, and it definitely reflects on the coaching.
Regardless of what happens against Chievo going forward, this one's going to look back at one of those where comes May, we're wondering, shit, man, we should have had 3 points in this game, and we should have qualified for the Champions League, so much like last year. These missed opportunities.
It goes the head-to-head again, then we'll be fine.
It's like we're not playing Lecce or Cesena. We're playing Udinese, a team that's in first, second place. We can't be switching our formation 2 days before. It's not something you do.
Especially because they didn't start their best player. Really, there's no excuse, I think, in my own opinion, there's no excuse why we didn't have 3 points today.
We're playing good with a 4-3-1-2. Finally, we brought that formation in.
Adrian Domenico, we'll leave you with the last word today since you've been so vocal.
I don't know. It's tough. It's really tough. It's hard that we tied, considering we could have won. But looking at the circumstances, it was against one of the top teams that we're fighting for a top position against. It's good that we didn't lose, because no other team is that much closer to us. But also, on the other hand, we're not that much farther away from the other teams behind us. Considering we lost a Champions League spot to the German League, looking at third place, it seems games like this makes it seem like it's farther and farther away.
Especially with a team with inferior defense to us in Udinese. I'm going to give you this opportunity to talk about how much fun you have coming Lazio Club Canada and spending some time here at Côte Nord and trying to get more people out to come out with us.
Oh, honestly, it's fun. I may not talk so much as everyone else, so I may not be so vocal, but it's good to be with Lazio fans. It's good to be with someone who shares the passion that I share.
It's not so much a support group anymore, but this is one that's going to help me not sleep well tonight, let's say.
It's good to know that if one of us isn't sleeping well, we're all not sleeping well.
And on that note, we're going to say Merry Christmas, Buon Natale, Buon Anno, all those good things. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. And we'll see you January 7th, probably right back here at Curva Nord Bar one more time. And you have yourself a Merry Christmas, sir. We'll do the round table shake. Everybody, Merry Christmas, Buon Natale.
Happy Hanukkah.
Give us a poster back.
That's our poster.
Please return it.
Yeah, if you're a poster, please return it.
Yeah, already we're dealing with anti-Lazio fans, even in our own bar, stealing our Miroslav poster. Hopefully the rightful... it'll be returned to the rightful owners, and if you do happen to listen to this, whoever stole our Miroslav Klose poster, could you please return it?
We're coming. They could be in the Calabrian way. Something like
The schoolie one?
Let's see from Canada if it's cold in Canada like in Roma. Canada, come stai?
Canada is cold. Only 1 degree today. Just one.
That's it? Only
Just
that?
one.
Niente, nada de nada. Only 1 degree in Canada is nothing. I mean, we have the same here in Italy. What's the problem with you? I invite you to join us in January in the stadium in the Olimpico to stand up in the curva for 2 hours without anything, just a shirt, a Lazio shirt for 2 hours with maybe 1 degree and 90% humid, and I see how cold is it. Welcome, Michael. Come stai? How are you?
Oh, tutto bene. But you know, you have to bring the grappa too to the stadium to stay warm. That's for sure.
You know what? With no grappa in the stadium is not allowed, my friend. Just outside from the stadium. That's it. Okay.
Well, today we want to wish everybody listening a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. That's the premise of today's show. Lo besto.
So what I'm asking you, what I want from you to say your name, where you're from, and to send your greetings to La SS Lazio, because we're taping all this, and then Marco will cut them and use them during the show until next Saturday. So, Michael Di Mascio.
Good. So I'll be a little bit of a celebrity with SS Lazio for one time.
Let's be a celebrity, because you know what? Le celebrità sono real celebrity when they are normal people, not VIP. That is my point of view. So, let's do it. Go.
Ok, anche in italiano, tutti gli ascoltatori, cari amici a Roma specialmente, buon Natale e buone feste da tuo amico in Canada, Michael Di Mascio. Speriamo 2012 e per la nostra Lazio. Un abbraccio e tanti panettoni questo Natale.